Welcome, everyone. This is the International Wealth Builders Radio Talk Show, and I'm your host, Marie Antoinette Wade. We are live on KCAA Radio Network, and we are affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports. If you want to watch our previous shows, they are available on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Android app. You just need to subscribe to Building Solid Foundations. Today, we have an amazing guest, and her name is Georgina Casillas. Georgina is one of our real estate professionals in the city of California, and we are here to talk to her about wealth building. Georgina, how are you doing? Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Marie. I'm doing great.
So tell us what's going on with you right now. I mean, I have not talked to you for a long time.
Yeah, it's been a couple years. I had a baby, so I was focused on that. And
Wow,
just
congratulations.
thank you. Yeah, 2 years ago, I got back into real estate full time again because I did take some time off. I did it part time, just friends and family. But 2 years ago, I joined a team here in Murrieta, California.
Okay.
We cover all of Riverside County, and there's, I believe, five of us in the team. Um, I don't, maybe, sorry, there's two team leads, three of us, four. We just got it. We just added a girl actually, and so there's like seven of us.
Okay. So what do you specialize in, Georgina?
Residential real estate.
Okay. All right. And do you have like a specific uh, target market that you work with?
Um, as far as yeah, I would say, resident. I don't know.
Are they first-time home buyers or investors? Do you work with investors?
I haven't really worked with investors. I worked with investors back in 2010 to 20 like 15 or so.
Okay.
Um, and that was it when I was doing short sales. Now it's mostly families that either,
Okay.
need to downsize or, get something bigger.
I see. Wow. So let me ask you this. I know you've been in the industry for how many years now? Are you
Uh, I want to say 17.
17 years? That's a lot of years. And from the time I've known you, you were part of the Finest Women in Real Estate TV reality show. And we were talking about how you manage your life and your personal life and your business. And I know that you have a son also at that time
Mhm.
that we were filming. And so, what is the status now with your life in regards to
Yeah.
running the business at the same time?
Um, I try to balance. I mean, my son has moved out. He's actually living in San Francisco right now. Um,
Okay.
yeah, with a group of friends, and he's doing really well. And
How old is he now?
he's 20.
Oh my gosh, that's been a long time since I've seen him.
Yeah, yeah, he's 20, and I have a 5-year-old girl. So I try to balance. I follow my schedule. As much as I can. Obviously, you have to allow room for things that come up, but mostly it's following a schedule that keeps me, you know, grounded and focused.
Okay. So tell me, what do you love about real estate and what do you mostly share with your clients that you work with?
Um, hmm. I mean, I love so many aspects of real estate, but as far as for my clients is, the opportunity to really build wealth because there's nothing like, owning real estate and how it can impact your your children and your children's children,
Mhm.
So that would be the biggest thing is building wealth through real estate. That's what I love for my clients to achieve.
Okay. And I know you're very organized in so many ways because, I got to know you more when we were doing the filming. So if you can share your process of helping your client from, the beginning to the end of purchasing their home. That would be great.
Yeah. So, when I got started with the team, um, Remax Empire Properties here in Marietta, um, I had a lot of support from my brokers who are also my team leaders, and I completely went back to basics as far as being open to learning different ways of doing things. And one of the things that was put on, well, it was brought up to me, was why not start doing um, buyer consultations with all your buyers instead of just rushing out the door to meet them at a property. Let's sit down and put a really good plan together. So up to, a couple years ago, the way that I was doing things was, again, meeting them at a property and taking it from there. Which both have, tremendous benefit, because obviously you meet someone, you build rapport, and things can progress, and then you can have that initial meeting. But whichever way, that works for you. But I like to meet with my clients, do a buyer consultation, let them know the process of the beginning to end, get them together with a lender. That's the first step, right? Because we have
Okay.
to know where they are as far as their purchasing power, and where they want to be in their payments, and if it's, if what they want is feasible. So yeah, always a buyer consultation, and also a commitment. It's going to be a commitment from me to them, and a commitment from them to me. So I do ask the buyers that will be working with me to sign a buyer agreement,
Okay.
which is a contract between, buyer's agent and the buyer. And so basically stating that they will not be working with any other agent. Now,
Okay.
if at any point, they want to, they're not satisfied, then, they can, obviously, we can get them out of that agreement. But it's a commitment, and that's where we start. And, obviously, not obviously, but the majority of the time, like, or I don't think I've ever had anyone tell me that they don't want to work with me.
Yes, it's very rare that happens, unless they don't, something comes up, where it could be a major problem. But I think a lot of people that are working together, they already have that established relationship, the level of trust and the likability. And I think it really works well when you have that as part of the relationship. But and knowing you, Georgina, you are very focused on what you do in business, and I admire you for that. And I know that for every client that you work with, you really give 100% your of yourself in regards to providing service and also giving them what they need to accommodate their needs. So I'm really happy to know that about you. In regards to some of your clients, have you had any experience where it was really a very difficult situation, but you were able to overcome the problem?
Yeah, I think the reason why, realtors are, it's so important. Like, I know that there's been talks about replacing our industry with, like a computer basically, or I don't know, robot, or whatever the case. Um, those companies that just open the door and they take the whole process, online, maybe, I don't know. But the whole point to having a real estate agent is because there's going to be challenges when it comes to purchasing a home. Like, that's just what you can expect every single time. And every single time is going to be a different type of challenge. And that's what we are hired to do, is to make everything go as smooth as possible and overcome all those challenges. So yeah, there's every single I mean, there's a few here in between, like really smooth transactions or deals that, there's not one thing that comes up. But most of the deals, like, yeah, um I work on probates, 1031s, like There's, issues with home inspections so yeah, there's always a challenge in every situation, but that's what we're here for.
Now, did you ever encounter a client where they're a little bit too strong for you, and how are you able to handle them?
Yeah. So, one of the things about, the beauty about working in a team is that I have the support from the team leads and my teammates, and they always um, tell us, hey, if it doesn't feel right, if you're not comfortable, if you're not being treated with respect, then there's absolutely no reason why you need to be in a relationship with a client that is not a good fit. And that's part of the initial meeting. Like we're
Mhm.
going to see if we're a good match. And for the most part, I we are. Um, let's see, a difficult situation last year. Yeah, there's definitely people that can be have really strong personalities, and for the most part I am so mellow that I tend to do really well. Um, but if it gets out of hand where it's like it's just being disrespectful or so on, that's pretty much where like I draw the line and I'm like, hey, you're fired as a client or whatever the case.
Well, let's take a commercial break right now, Georgina, and I want to expand that story in our next segment. So, to all of you out there, we're going to take a commercial break. This is the International Wealth Builders Radio Talk Show, and I'm your host, Marie Antoinette Waite, and we are talking to Georgina Casillas, who is a real estate professional in the city of Riverside. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
FireUp Connect is the most innovative business networking group, supporting and collaborating with a dozen of small businesses that are interested in building and establishing strong business connections. Hosting educational live seminars while carrying out business and community-driven projects, as well as marketing programs as a part of its membership program. FireUp Connect also offers virtual assistance with a wide range of services including inbound customer support, chat support, appointment setting and email management, graphic designing, video editing, web design and development, social media marketing, e-commerce solution, content writing and much more. For more information, head on over to www.fireupconnect.com. FireUp Connect, helping success stories unfold every day.
Hi, this is Jim McLaughlin with Effective Action Consulting, and I've been a member of Fire Up Connect for, probably 3 years now. And what I really like about Fire Up Connect is the unique model that we go through, that we follow, the agenda, so to speak, in the meeting that really has us get engaged and involved with each other in the meetings. It's not that we're individuals, it's that we're all really working together to better ourselves, our businesses, and the community through the projects that we work on. So I'm really grateful to have the opportunity to network with people in this environment, and it's really impacted my business in a big way. So take a look.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio Talk Show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about. So join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Real Men of Real Estate.
Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA.
Boats, mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically go to the radio station kcaaradio.com.
You can find us on your dial at 102.3 FM, 1050 AM, as well as 106.5 FM.
Welcome back to the International Wealth Builders Radio Talk Show. This is your host, Marie Antoinette Wade, and we are live here on KCAA Network. I have a guest today, and her name is Georgina Casillas. She is a real estate professional in the city of Riverside, and so exciting that we were talking about her way of helping her clients. And so we're going to continue that discussion, Georgina. So you were saying that, part of what you do is you try to give them a sense of direction when it comes to buying homes. So can you take us to the process of where when you initially have a meeting with them, uh, what do you talk to them about in that initial meeting?
Yeah. So the first thing when I do a buyer consultation and the client and I meet is asking questions, right? Like, what are their goals, financially for their family? Like every, what is it that they're looking to achieve through buying this home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it might be to have a home for them and their kids and have it stay in the family, or to stay in that home, and when it's time to move on to a bigger one, sell it and um, be able to use that to buy their next home, or whatever the case. It's always asking questions like what their goals are, like what are we looking at as far as what they're comfortable with payments, like um,
So do you look at their financial information at this point, or do you still have to take them to be qualified before you meet during this meeting?
Yeah. So it can go either way. Like sometimes if they're in town and I just want to make a connection, I'll meet with them first. If they are far away and it's gonna be, we'll either do Zoom or what I'll do is I'll have them talk to the lender first, and then we'll do the buyer consultation. It just depends. But yeah, they get with the lender and they figure out, where they want their payments, um, and how much money, how much down payment they want to, or they have, how much savings, where's the money coming from, and
Okay.
all those details.
Okay. Now, if they say that, they want this house and then this is what their buying power is, what do you do with that? if, if, I mean, if it doesn't make sense that they want this house, but this is what they can afford.
Right. I mean, obviously, you're going to try to accommodate, their their wants as much as you can. But if it's just something that's not realistic, then you just have to be honest. I mean, I tell them like, hey, why don't we take a look at the homes that are in your budget? Because there is absolutely no sense on looking at anything that, you are not going to be comfortable with payments, or you don't have the full down payment for. And if we find something, great. And if we don't, then you have to hold off and either save more, make more, whatever the case is for you to have what you want, right?
Are
Either way.
they mostly cooperative after you say that, or are they kind of
Yeah,
like, being moved by emotion because they really like this house and, they don't want to take your advice?
right. Most people are very cooperative, like meaning most of my clients. I've, some of them know what they want, and if the numbers are there, then and the loan is put together and that's their approval, and um it doesn't really, if they can afford it, yeah. But if I don't have an approval at the amount that they of the house that they want, then it's not going to work. So
Okay. So it really it's really based if they can get the approval or not.
yeah.
Okay, I see. I think for some people that do have a lot of money, and I think it's never an issue because they can definitely afford any of those homes if they want to. But do you also give them other, ideas of, of owning investment properties aside from what they went for when they met with you?
um Yeah, I mean, when, I like certain properties that I take them to, I'm like, wow, this would be a great, house to, like, maybe this has the potential to be an Airbnb. Have you ever considered that? Um,
Okay.
if we're in the right, city for that, because obviously Airbnb is not allowed in every city, but that's one way to definitely build wealth through homeownership. I mean, especially now where there's so much help and support in every direction for homeowners to, um, you know, um, turn their homes
Mm-hmm.
into like a like a what is it, a multiple family dwelling, like where you can, do an Airbnb or rent out, an area of your home, or build another home in your property if you have enough space for that. I'm always looking for those opportunities, like
Okay. What city do you cover, Georgina?
Wildemar, Marietta, Temecula, um, Menifee, Hemet, Corona. Yeah, those
Wow,
are,
that's a lot of areas that you're covering.
yeah.
Okay. And let me see. So you cover all of those areas. Now, do you go as far as San Diego?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, so just in that Wildomar area.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I have ventured off into other counties,
Hmm.
mostly if they're personal referrals, family, friends, and if they're selling their home, because selling the home it looks a lot different than, you know, buying a home. I want to make sure that I'm going to fully take care of someone. And if I don't know the area well enough, then I will refer them to someone that does know the area well enough when they're
Okay.
buying. But as far as selling is, I can sell in any county.
Okay. Now, let me ask you, what would you advise to someone who is interested in getting into real estate?
Um, I would say, I mean, there's so many avenues to get your foot into real estate. If you want to, if you're not sure, then obviously getting a job at a real estate office is one way. But I would say go for it. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's not one thing I would recommend is to have the support of a partner. Like, if you can, obviously, if you're single and maybe you have the support from parents, or because it is going to take 3 to 6 months for you to get going. So you do need, someone to maybe be taking care of like some of the things be that need to be taken care of, or save, 6 months of reserves and get going with that. But
Okay. Because they need that for running the business, right? Because real estate is a business.
they need that to get going, because just to get started and to get your first sold property under your belt, it's going to take about, it's a process of 2 to 3 months, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even I mean, even just taking your tests and getting the license,
Yeah,
and then paying for the MLS, right? And what else? What are the association? You have to pay for all of that.
all of that, yes.
What about the training? I mean, is that something that you need to have a budget for when you're a real estate agent? You need to consistently have a budget for training.
um yeah, obviously, it just depends what it is that you want to like focus in. But there is offices that, are really good about having training twice a week, or having a mentor that you work with, and, they take a certain amount from your commission, but they, mentor you and they help you in the first few deals. So that's always helpful. That's how I got started. I got started with Coldwell Banker, and I had a mentor. I did my first 3 deals with the mentor, and I did classes, twice a week
Okay.
or so.
And
Yeah.
and you've been in the real estate for over 7 years. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So far, is it been a great decision for you to be into real estate?
Yeah. I mean, I can't really imagine anything better to, that has no cap as far as what you can achieve.
Okay.
and freedom. I mean, it just all depends how you manage it. But I love real estate. I really do.
Yeah, I know that about you. Anyway, so Georgina, what is the best way for people to get a hold of you if they need your services?
Best way would be either my phone number, Instagram or Facebook. It's Georgina Casillas. I have a website. Yeah.
Okay, and that Georgina is Georgina, right?
Mhm.
Casillas, Cassillas. And what's your phone number?
951-334-9582.
Okay, can you please repeat that again?
951-334-9582.
Okay, there you go, guys. You can reach out Georgina on her phone number and her website. And Georgina, any last thoughts that you wanted to share the our listeners?
Um, no, just don't think twice. I mean, I know people are a little hesitant right now with the high interest rates, but there's nothing better than owning real estate.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, Georgina. It's amazing to see you again. And to all of you out there, don't hesitate to connect with Georgina. She is an amazing person who's going to help you in buying your home. And this is the International Wealth Builders Association and a radio talk show. And in our next segment, we're going to meet Yolanda Davis Smith, and she is another real estate investor. And we will talk to her about wealth building. So don't go away. We will be right back.
Fire Up Connect is the most innovative business networking group, supporting and collaborating with a dozen of small businesses that are interested in building and establishing strong business connections. Hosting educational live seminars while carrying out business and community-driven projects, as well as marketing programs as a part of its membership program. Fire Up Connect also offers virtual assistance with a wide range of services including inbound customer support, chat support, appointment setting and email management, graphic designing, video editing, web design and development, social media marketing, e-commerce solution, content writing and much more. For more information, head on over to www.fireupconnect.com. Fire Up Connect, helping success stories unfold every day.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations radio talk show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about. So join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Real men of real estate.
Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA.
Boats, mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station KCAA radio.com.
You can find us on your dial at 102.3 FM, 1050 AM, as well as 106.5 FM.
Welcome back to the International Wealth Builders radio talk show. And I'm your host, Maria Antoinette Wade. And this time we have an amazing guest. Her name is Yolanda Smith. And Yolanda, how are you doing?
I am doing well today. How are you?
I am good. I'm really excited to talk to you about wealth building because I know you are a real estate investor. Can you tell us more about how that started for you in regards to your investing?
Yes. So, after coming in from overseas, as I am an Air Force veteran, um, my
How many years in the Air Force?
I'm almost 10.
Okay.
And so, my then husband, we were looking to buy a home. So we purchased that home shortly after we got here. And then we decided to move out of the area, and we could not get the home sold because of the market at the time. And so that was the first time that I experienced renting. And so then when we figured out how that worked, we took on other projects. And as time has gone on and we've parted ways, I've continued to understand the process of having rental income.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so from there, what did you do next?
So after um, purchasing a few properties here and there, um, I put myself in environments where I would learn the fundamentals of real estate investing. And then after getting into various investment groups, I really took on mindset and the mindset around money and the mindset around having quality networks. And because if your mindset is wealthy, it can open up a lot of doors for you and you can have wealthy conversations. Um, I think sometimes, people think because they have money that, you can go in and you can do things. But if your mindset isn't on point with knowledge of the industry, it can impact you negatively. So I spent a lot of time working on my mindset um, and working with people who were further down the road than myself and having mentors. Mentorship is so important.
Okay. Now, do you help other people invest?
No, I do not at this time help other people invest. However, I will have a conversation to give them like basic fundamentals of what my experience was to give them some clues as to where to start. That's currently kind of where I'm at in the process right now.
Oh, that is awesome, actually. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is your vision for your investing plans?
Um, quite frankly, it is land.
Hmm.
And I say that because with the homeless problem being so widespread, as well as many of the governments are now loosening the grips for people to be able to put ADUs in locations maybe that we would not have thought about several years ago. Um, so if you're able to capture yourself some land, maybe one or two properties at a very, I want to say, slow pace. One of my mentors is a very passive investor, doesn't do any Airbnbs or anything like that. And so he has about 70 properties. So it is absolutely and totally just land and going methodically and slow from creating a passive portfolio.
Wow, that's amazing. What an incredible mentor you have. Okay, so that is your plan. Now, are there any other things that you do aside from investing?
Um, I am a published author.
Okay. Wow.
Hmm. And I speak to women to encourage them to establish a very healthy relationship with the word no. I've spoken to several people and they say that they have a difficult time saying no sometimes to people and situations. And I just really speak on having a healthy relationship for yourself and being authentic and speaking no to certain people, places, and things so that you can experience freedom. And then when you have freedom, you can move a certain way, you can go forward with what's important to you, maybe without feeling guilty. So I think it's important to have a healthy no for yourself, but particularly so with others, without guilt.
Wow, that is incredible. I mean, I have not heard anything like that in terms of a healthy no. That is a pretty cool concept, I think.
Well, the thing is too, Marie, no is really a boundary word. Even when, most of us grew up, from what I understand from talking to people, no, don't touch that. No, you can't have that. No, and so we experience maybe no in what we would term as a negative way.
Mhm.
But I think if we look at it differently, they were really trying to put boundaries in place for us. No, don't touch the hot stove. No, don't hang out with, maybe that person, or no, you can't stay out as long as you want. And so really it's a boundary word.
Mhm.
And so when we look at it from a different lens, maybe it was there to protect us.
Yeah, that's amazing concept.
Yeah,
So, and I think it relates to, being a real estate investor, because when it comes to dealing with other people in this industry and you're building your asset, you have to be very careful also in vetting everything that's around you, including the projects.
absolutely.
Yes, and if you don't have a very strong ground of who you are, I think, you can get in trouble if you don't have a good mindset in regards to
Absolutely.
companies.
Yes, mindset.
Yeah.
And yes, I've discovered that that has allowed for me to be in rooms um, with some real heavy hitters. And it can grow you. It grows you. It grows your knowledge base. And as you said, it gives your foundation a lot of strength as we go into this new season. And so I think this could be a growing opportunity for many people in many ways, and particularly so in the real estate investing space.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, I'm really excited to connect you to everyone that's listening to our radio show, and I wanted to get more information in regards to, let's say, I have a question actually. How about if there is someone who doesn't have enough money and they want to get into the real estate investing? What is your suggestion to them?
So one of the things that I've learned on my journey is that we all have various levels of talents. So let's say they don't have the money, but they have time. And let's say there's paperwork that needs to be filed. There's pictures that need to be taken. So what you can do is you can exchange maybe some of your talents, if you will, to own a piece of the pie, if you will.
Okay.
So, 100%, maybe, it's like, okay, on this particular, deal, we'll give you 10%. And these are the things that we're asking. So sometimes it's not always the monetary contribution.
Oh, I see. So do you have that as part of your program when you're investing?
I don't, because right now the way that I'm setting things up is I'm moving kind of very methodical right now. And I have a mentor, a very successful mentor. So we have some things that need to be cleaned up. And then at the same time, we're moving forward, particularly so in the ADU space.
Okay, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know that you are also a member of the Global Society for Female Entrepreneurs, and I actually met you in London. That's
Yeah.
where we met, and it was really exciting to get to know more about you. The fact that you are a military veteran and you were also in the Fire Up Live seminar event, and you received one of the recognition awards at that event too. And it's such an honor to get to know you. Yolanda, it's really amazing, and I'm very blessed to have met you.
Thank you, Marie. And I feel the same. Thank you very much.
Well, we're gonna take a commercial break here, and when we get back, I have more questions for you, Yolanda. And so this is the International Wealth Builders Radio Talk Show. Don't go away. We are here with Yolanda Smith, and we're going to learn more about her real estate investing program, or, oh, I mean, style.
Style, I would say style,
Yes,
yes.
style. All right. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Fire Up Connect is the most innovative business networking group, supporting and collaborating with a dozen of small businesses that are interested in building and establishing strong business connections, hosting educational live seminars while carrying out business and community-driven projects, as well as marketing programs as a part of its membership program. Fire Up Connect also offers virtual assistance with a wide range of services including inbound customer support, chat support, appointment setting and email management, graphic designing, video editing, web design and development, social media marketing, e-commerce solution, content writing and much more. For more information, head on over to www.fireupconnect.com. Fire Up Connect, helping success stories unfold every day.
Hi, this is Jim McLaughlin with Effective Action Consulting, and I've been a member of Fire Up Connect for, probably 3 years now. And what I really like about Fire Up Connect is the unique model that we go through, that we follow, the agenda, so to speak, in the meeting that really has us get engaged and involved with each other in the meetings. It's not that we're individuals, it's that we're all really working together to better ourselves, our businesses, and the community through the projects that we work on. So I'm really grateful to have the opportunity to network with people in this environment, and it's really impacted my business in a big way. So take a look.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations radio talk show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about. So join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Real men of real estate.
Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA.
Notes, mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station KCAA radio.com.
You can find us on your dial at 102.3 FM, 1050 AM, as well as 106.5 FM.
Welcome back to the International Wealth Builders Radio Talk Show. I am your host. This is Marie Antoinette Waite, and we are live here on KCAA Radio Network with Yolanda Smith, who is a military veteran and also a real estate investor. So, Yolanda, we were just talking about us meeting in London, and it was an amazing opportunity to learn more about you as a real estate investor and also being a member of the Global Society for Female Entrepreneurs. Now, are there any other things that you envision in regards to your involvement in the real estate investing?
One of the things that I would say that I envision is strengthening my relationship with my mentor or mentors.
Okay.
That should be so advantageous. Yeah. And finding people who are further down the road. They say find someone who does what you want to do and seek them out. So as I go into this season of life, I am super intentional, very laser focused, and I'm really seeking, well, right now I currently have a very, very wonderful mentor who's done very well. So I would say that's the step that I'm really focused on, and they have guided me, very well thus far.
Okay. Now, are you concentrating only in San Diego area, or are you looking at out of the, out of state?
I wouldn't say that I'm concentrating on San Diego. I wouldn't say that I'm concentrating. on Southern California as a whole. Um, there are other places. I find that as a passive investor, you can have a property anywhere where you're making, a monthly profit. And so to whether you have it under a property management, you don't physically have to be there. But, on the other hand, if you're doing things that require, your time and, the Airbnbs and things like that, that's a very different type of way of having real estate. But being passive, no, I'm not looking to be in Southern California per se, unless I'm doing maybe a deal with other investors or something along the lines of that. But you can go out to other states
Okay.
and do okay.
Now, if you're considering that, or if that's what you're doing, how does it work when it needs you to be more involved? Because I've had properties outside of the California, and it was very difficult for me to maintain it, and so I ended up actually letting it go because I just couldn't see myself traveling all the time and figuring out what was going on in there and what the property management is doing. So how are you handling that?
Well, the thing is that what I learned years ago is your property management is key. And what I learned was to stay with the larger companies, the big property management companies, the big real estate companies. One of the reasons is because of their actual portfolio themselves, right?
Okay.
And so if you're going to buy a property out of state and you're say you can't get there, do the home inspection. You know, the appraisal is going to be done. So there are certain things that you can do to kind of protect yourself, depending upon what type of loan it is. Those inspections can be very helpful. At one point, I had purchased properties from the sale of a property here in California. I purchased in Arizona, Florida, Texas. I never went to go see the properties. I thoroughly looked at the home inspections, and I went to one of, several large real estate companies that have a property management division, but also have liability insurance. So if something goes, crazy, they have liability insurance. So you want to protect yourself through having proper inspections and ensuring that if you get with a small property management company, that they have the proper time in the business and the proper liability, professional liability insurance, so that you yourself can be protected if you're not going to be hands-on.
Oh, I see. That's actually a really good option. I
Yeah.
didn't even think about that, but that's a really good information for people that don't want to be involved and they just wanted to invest their money and have passive income.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So, what are some of the companies out there that you would consider being a part of, of this program?
You talking about like property management
Yes.
companies? Is that
Yes.
like your Remaxes, your Century 21s, your
Oh, so
Keller
the big,
Williams,
large companies.
the large ones? And again, that was just something I learned from a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
let's say, but now that's not to say that I didn't try, with someone who had a property management company, and they were limited in what they could do. And so it didn't work for me, but for some it did work, because that's how I ended up with maybe the smaller company. They came recommended, but it didn't work for me. So all I say is, just in all that you do in this space of investing,
Mm-hmm.
your liability insurances in every way. Check to make sure that you have healthy liability. Check to make sure whoever you're dealing with, they have liability. You have something done on the property. It's a business.
Mm-hmm. And so they're running it while you're just, waiting for your check to come in, right?
Uh, yeah, yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. Okay, so in terms of investment, I mean, is there like a minimum amount? Is it? I mean, can you come in with how low of investment amount money that you can get in there?
Well, I'm going to say this, and I think this is really fair to put out there. There's a couple of things. One, there are real estate investment clubs. I have found that they're very minimal in cost. Go hang out in the spaces and hear knowledge, gain access to what they're talking about. You have um, people who come in and they talk about what's going on with the economy in your local area. Attend. It's very minimal in cost. And then the second thing is, from those meetings, sometimes you can meet someone and they say, hey, they're looking for beginner investors. And if they're for beginner investors, your opportunity to put in maybe 5,000 or put in labor in exchange for the monetary amount. And the other thing is, for myself, I would say make sure you have some type of legal review of your documents, because I'm certainly not an expert in reviewing real estate documents. I have Legal Shield for my personal life, then I have the business component of Legal Shield. And you can run those documents by an attorney. So I think when you're just starting out, that's a good thing to have. But I also think that when you start making money, it's still good to have. So those are just some of the basic fundamentals. And just make sure every step of the way that you're in tune and in step with liability insurance from the bottom all the way up to the top.
That's an amazing advice. And I love that you did advise that they need to have some legal support when they're dealing with real estate projects. Well, I am very grateful for this information, Yolanda. Is there anything else that you can share to our listeners in regards to real estate investing?
My thing is this here. Don't be afraid. That old saying, you can eat the elephant, but it starts with one bite. Start small. Go to a meeting in your community and listen. And then find someone that you trust, that you can ask the questions to. And just start small.
Okay. Would it be good for them to reach out to you for any type of questions?
Sure, I wouldn't have a problem with someone reaching out, to me.
What would be the best way to connect with you?
I would say by email, yolanda@yahoo.com.
All right, there you go. And thank you so much for your time, Yolanda. This is such an amazing information for the International Wealth Builders. So to all of you out there, make sure that you watch our show. We are here every Saturday at 1 p.m. And we have other hosts that are bringing so many great experts where you can learn how to build your wealth. This is the International Wealth Builders Radio Talk Show, and I'm your host, Marie Antoinette Waite. And thank you so much, and we will see you again.
Now you can listen to KCAA Radio anytime on your smartphone device. Call 720-835-3099. 720-835-3099.
Here's a twist on Christmas that would make Jesus weep. First, a right-wing faction in the U.S. has been wringing its hands over a hokey cultural crisis cooked up by the faction itself, namely that liberals, atheists, humanists, and, God forbid, Marxists are waging a war on Christmas. The infidels are not accused of lobbing bombs in this war, but words of mass destruction. Specifically, the right-wing purists wail that unholy lefties are perverting the season by saying Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas. Second, some ultra-conservative members of this same faction have launched their own war against Jesus. How twisted is this? They say no one should mess with the word Christmas, yet they're messing with the guy Christmas is supposed to be about. Okay, technically they're not going directly at Jesus, but at a key part of his message, and in particular at a key messenger of Christianity, Pope Francis. They've decided that the Pope is a Marxist, pointing out that Francis speaks often about the, quote, structural causes of poverty, the idolatry of money, and the new tyranny of unfettered capitalism. Obviously, say the Pontiff's pious critics, that's commie talk. The clincher for them was when Francis wrote an official papal document in which he asked in outrage, how can it be that it is not a news item when an elderly homeless person dies of exposure, but it is news when the stock market loses 2 points? See, cried the carpers, that's proof that Francis is the Red Pope. But wait, that was a very good question he asked, one ripe with the moral wrath that Jesus himself frequently showed toward the callous rich in their love of money. Indeed, the Pope's words ring with deep ethics you find in Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. Was he a commie too? This is Jim Hightower saying, could it be that the carpers are actually the ones lacking in real Christmas spirit?
The Tri-City Shopping Center in Redlands is serving up some really cool ice cream at La Micho Acana. Then get your chocolates and other delights from See's Candies. Moms and future moms who visit the mall can cool off and relax while they get treated like royalty at Shiny Nails or Francis Nails and then pampered at Texture Hair. The Tri-City Center is filled with retailers who care about you. Shop at the Tri-City Center in Redlands and see why they call it the mall with a heart.
Downtown San Bernardino is living history and the place you want to be. On the internet, it's 320downtown.com. That's 320downtown.com. The Enterprise Building, with its rich interiors, it's a place so special you just have to see it. It's at 320 Northeast Street in downtown San Bernardino. The Enterprise Building is the heartbeat and entertainment life of downtown San Bernardino, as well as a distinguished space for your new office or building. You can grow with its newly renovated banquet area, meeting rooms, 320 bar, top deck terrace, and plenty of parking space with over 8,900 square feet of reasonable and available opportunity. Today, it's family owned and operated by Alicia, Alan, and their son Ryan. They've rolled out the red carpet and crafted a gracious space, keeping the historical feel of the building while providing the opportunity to create.
Here's Daily Hope with Pastor Rick Warren.
Did you know that in this book, the Bible, there are over 7,000 promises from God to you? If you want to be a man of faith, if you want to be a woman of faith, you need to become a promise person. You need to know these promises. You need to write some of them down on cards. You need to memorize them so that when you're starting to feel overwhelmed, you can remember, oh yeah, but God has promised, da-da-da-da-da, and you can say it. And so what he does is he said, God, I know who you are. You're a big God. And God, I know what you've done in the past. You've helped me through all my other tough times. And God, you've promised to take care of me in the future. I'm asking you to do what you say you do. Keep your promise. Fulfill your character. I'm going to focus on you.
Hear more from Rick Warren at PastorRick.com.
Robert Manny's The Guy's Guide to Love is a fast-paced tale of flawed men and savvy women competing for love, sex, power, and money in the city where they play for keeps. It's the men's successor to Sex and the City. The Guy's Guide to Love is a sexy romp through the fast-moving, high-stakes world of Madison Avenue. Available now on Amazon and wherever books are sold.
My name is Daniel Rudbari. I'm an attorney. I represent tenants against landlords. So if your landlord is making you live in substandard living conditions, bug infestation, cockroaches, rodents, mold, mildew, broken windows, lack of security, flooding, call me. You have rights. You can reach me at 877-384-9911. Again, I'm attorney Daniel Rudbari, and I represent tenants against landlords that refuse to make repairs and force tenants to live in substandard living conditions. So if you think you're living in a substandard living condition, call me, 877-384-9911. The call is free. It's a toll-free number, 877-384-9911, and the advice is free.
You're listening to KCAA Loma Linda at 106.5 FM, K293CF Moreno Valley.
You're listening to the Tahibo Tea Club radio show, hosted by Milan Vukovic, founder of the Tahibo Tea Club.
Welcome to the Tahibo Tea Club Radio Hour. My name is Milan Vukovic. I'm the founder of the Tahibo Tea Club. Without my father, John Vukovic, there would be no Tahibo Tea Club. My father was diagnosed with colon cancer that had spread to the pancreas in 1998 at the age of 86. He started receiving treatment at the Houston Medical Center, which is the biggest medical center in the world, bigger than Boston. Because the size of the tumor on my father's pancreas was the size of a half a brick, I was told that there wasn't anything they could do for my father, and that I needed to put my father's affairs in order since he had about 2 months to live. So, of course, I started planning a funeral. I called our friends and family and told them how grave the situation was, and told them that if they wanted to see Dad, they only had a couple of months, and they might want to do so now. One of the families that came to pay their last respects to my father came and brought Tahibo tea with them. They said Tahibo tea cured their brother from cancer. I looked at them incredulous, as if they were Martians or something. I mean, my dad was getting treated at the Houston Medical Center, and no one was saying anything other than to plan a funeral, and these people were telling me that the tea's going to cure my dad? But of course, I was polite to the people since they came to pay their respects. In any event, after they left, I cooked up the tea, and my father figured if he had 2 months to live, what's the difference if he's drinking the tea or water? He has to drink something anyway. So he's drinking the tea, and 2 months later, when they put him on a CAT scan machine, they thought their CAT scan machine was broken because they couldn't find a tumor on his pancreas that used to be the size of a half a brick. So they said to my father, you know, the hospital right next door here at the medical center also has a CAT scan machine. Since you already drank the contrast dye, we'll phone them and you can walk over and they'll take a picture so you don't have to come back and do it all over again next week when we get a machine fixed. So my father walked next door, they took a picture. They couldn't find any cancer either. My father is now 86 years old. He's been cancer-free for over 20 years. And not only is he cancer-free, he's in such good health, he takes care of my garden and even mows my lawn. I mean, I'd be embarrassed about it if he didn't enjoy doing it, and I know it's good for him. Our customers always get a kick out of it when they ask me how my dad's doing, and I tell them as long as he's mowing my lawn, he must be doing pretty good. The tea's certainly been a blessing in my family's life, and God willing, our tea will have the same benefits for you, your family and friends, as it has for mine and so many others. Not a week goes by that someone doesn't call in with a truly miraculous recovery. Bone cancer, brain cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer, mesothelioma, leukemia, diabetes, you name it. And not a day goes by that someone doesn't call in with some type of a success, whether it's just beating toenail fungus. Well, toenail fungus may not be imminently life-threatening, but if you have it, you don't like it. The Tahibo tree is an amazing tree. It never gets sick, never gets infected, and never gets infested. As a result, the highest potency Tahibo comes from the inner bark of the tree where the arterial and vein system, called the xylem and the phloem, in the tree reside, which brings nutrients to the rest of the tree. And that's why we only harvest mature trees over 40 years old in the rainforest of Brazil. The harvest method we use is to semi-strip some outer bark to get to the inner bark without cutting down the tree and allowing the tree to heal itself so they can be harvested again. It's also the only tree in the world the fungus doesn't grow on. So as a result, it naturally has antifungal, anti-infection, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. These benefits go a long way to helping our immune system contend with a lot of things it normally has to contend with on a daily basis. Parasites would be something like stomach problems. Inflammation would be something like rheumatoid arthritis. Infection would be any infection from a tooth infection to a bladder infection. Viral would be something like herpes. Bacteria would be something like gum disease or stomach bacteria. And fungus would be something like toenail fungus or candida. But maybe more importantly, what the tea does is build the red corpuscles in the blood which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. Our immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer happens to die on oxygen. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps regenerate new cells. Everything from the cells in our skin so we look better to the cells in our organs so they function properly. And it can truly be miraculous for somebody fighting a potentially life-threatening disease such as diabetes or cancer. In future programs, we'll discuss Tahibo tea versus AIDS, anemia, arthritis, asthma, bronchitis, other types of cancers, colitis, diabetes, diverticulitis, eczema, fungus, gastritis, gonorrhea, gout, HIV, impotence, infections, leukemia, lupus, Parkinson's, prostatitis, pyorrhea, rheumatism, ringworm, ulcers, virus, and yeast infections. One time a customer asked me, he said, boy, it sounds like the tea helps with everything. It does really help with a lot of different things, but for some things, for example, with the bones, calcium helps with the bones. The Tahibo helps with a lot of different things, but you need some other things also for a healthy diet. I'd like to talk a little about the proper preparation directions for Tahibo tea to be effective. Even though we call it tea, what you're actually preparing when you make it properly is a decoction. A decoction is just a fancy word for what our forefathers used to make when they used to take a root and cook it in order to release its beneficial properties. It's easy, but you don't steep it in hot water like regular leaf tea, but rather cook it like spaghetti. I'll tell you how easy it is to make just so you don't think you'll need a degree in physics, but you don't have to remember any of this because the directions, of course, are on the packages as well as in the literature you automatically receive with your order. You take a pot of water, bring it to a boil. Once the water is boiling, you toss in a tablespoon of tea for every 2 cups of boiling water. Cook it on high for 5 minutes, reduce the heat, and cook on simmer for an additional 15 minutes. Since our tea comes from the only tree in the world the fungus doesn't grow on, you can make a whole big batch, 10 or 20 cups at a time, leave it in the pot on the stove, and it'll stay good for 4 days without refrigeration. Put it in the fridge, and it'll stay good for 8 days with refrigeration, and you can drink it hot, room temperature, cold, or iced. The tea has a mild, pleasant flavor, kind of halfway between Lipton tea and green tea, but a little bit sweeter than either one of those. Our tea tastes so good that 95% of our customers drink it straight without putting anything else in it. Even teenagers drink it straight. So, you know it must taste pretty good. You can, however, add anything you want to the tea after you prepare it, such as lemon, for example. About the only thing we don't recommend to add to the tea is sugar. Not because it has any contraindications with our tea, but because sugar feeds virtually everything bad in our body, from fungus to diabetes to cancer. The other thing you can do to change the flavor and have some fun while cooking the tea, you can take any old fruit that you have on hand, like an apple, a pear, a peach, mango, whatever it is, slice it up, or take blueberries and crush them up and toss them into the boiling water at the same time you're tossing the tea in, and cook it with the tea. You can also take ginger or a cinnamon stick and cook it with the tea. And because the tea naturally has such a mild flavor, you'll immediately change the flavor to the fruit that you're using. This is especially useful when you're giving the tea to a child to drink, because an 8-year-old has not acquired a taste for any kind of tea, regardless how mild it tastes. Tahibo tea has no contraindications with any medications, so it can be taken on an empty stomach, a full stomach, with medications or without medications, and with or without other therapies. It also has no caffeine, so it can be drank all day and all night. In my family, we all drink it like water all day, every day. I only drink water 3 or 4 times a week when I get tired of drinking the tea.
Don't go away. We'll be right back with Milan and more from the Tahibo Tea Club radio show in just a minute. But for now, here's a word from our sponsors.
You're listening to the Tahibo Tea Club radio show. All packaging is in 1-pound packages. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, and that includes shipping.
And 1 pound makes 300 8-ounce cups or glasses of tea. That's the equivalent of 12 cents a glass to make. So even if you're drinking 8 glasses a day, that's 96 cents a day to at least give yourself the opportunity for success. All orders ship immediately the same day. Orders in Los Angeles, where we're located, arrive in 1 day. Orders everywhere else arrive in 2 days. Tahibo tea is great for healthy people because it helps regenerate cells. Everything from the cells in our skin so we look better to the cells in our organs so they function properly. And it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease such as an infection, diabetes, or cancer. In Milan Vukovic's family, everyone drinks it every day like water, from his 20-year-old son to his parents, who are both now 86. For more information about Tahibo tea or to order, please visit our website, www.tahiboteaclub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy. Oh, that's Tahibo, and then continue with the word tea, and then the word club. So the complete site is www.taheeboteaclub.com or call today at 818-610-8088. That's 818-610-8088. LA offices open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday, California time. That's area code 818-610-8088.
Taheebo Tea Club's original Pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus does not grow on. As a result, it naturally has antifungal, anti-infection, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TaheeboTeaClub.com. Taheebo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TaheeboTeaClub.com or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TaheeboTeaClub.com. Taheebo Tea Club's original Pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea helps build red corpuscles in the blood which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer dies in oxygen. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TaheeboTeaClub.com. Taheebo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TaheeboTeaClub.com or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TaheeboTeaClub.com.
Welcome back. This is Milan Vukovic, founder of the Taheebo Tea Club. My father's case was a case of colon cancer that had metastasized to the pancreas. I'd like to tell you about another cancer case about a man from Chicago. In 2009, he was diagnosed with brain cancer, specifically lymphoma of the brain. They immediately started chemo and radiation treatments, but his cancer kept getting worse. The chemo and radiation were not working for him, and they were making him sicker by the day because they're not easy treatments. By January 2010, he was literally on his deathbed. A friend of his who had heard about the tea called us and said, go ahead and send the tea to him in Chicago, even though it's probably too late for our friend, but for $34.95, it's certainly worth a try. So we went ahead, sent the tea to him in Chicago. We didn't hear from anyone until about 5 months later. This lady from Texas called to order the tea. We asked her how she heard about the tea, and she said, you know, my husband and I are originally from Chicago, and about 5 months ago when we were back visiting, our good friend Nick was dying from brain cancer. He was in such bad shape that my husband and I looked at each other and thought he was going to pass away that week, so we might as well stay in Chicago so we don't have to come back again the next week for a funeral. Well, Nick got the tea about that time and started drinking it, and he started getting a little bit stronger. My husband and I went back to Texas, and now 5 months later, Nick is visiting us. He looks better than you or I, so whatever it is that he's drinking, we want to drink too. I want to tell you that Nick at that time was 60 years old, and once he beat the cancer, he was feeling so good he got bored staying at home, so he went back to work full-time, and he's been cancer-free and in good health now for over 8 years and still continues to work full-time. I want to shift gears now and talk about diabetes. Oftentimes I get the question, how long does it take for the tea to work? If the tea is going to help, it's going to work rather quickly. In my father's case, it eradicated the tumor in exactly 2 months. In Nick's case with the brain cancer, it was about 3 to 4 months. Now, with diabetes and with all of the conditions with the tea, there's a healing process that's involved. Now, with diabetes, it's very easy to tell that the tea is working. Let's say, for example, if a diabetic is taking on average 40 units of insulin daily. They continue to take their insulin and they start drinking a tea. since they're measuring the blood sugar on a daily basis, to know whether to take 35 units or 40 units or 45 units of insulin, which makes a big difference. They'll notice typically that in 2 weeks, instead of needing 40 units of insulin, they only need 30 units of insulin. In 4 weeks, they'll notice they only need 20 units of insulin. In 6 weeks, they'll only need 10 units of insulin. And in 2 months, they won't need insulin at all. So there's a healing process involved because the tea helps the body to heal itself. And with different conditions, there's different healing times that are involved. With infections, for example, a tooth infection, you can get rid of faster than you can with penicillin. You can get rid of a tooth infection in a week. And what happens with a tooth infection is you start drinking a tea. Well, let's say you have a tooth infection and your head is throbbing like in a cartoons, like a bomb that's about to explode. You take a drink of the tea, you hold it in your mouth for 2 minutes, the pain will immediately go away. You can't even get rid of the pain that quickly with a Vicodin. Now, if you stop drinking the tea at that point, you haven't knocked out enough bacteria, so the pain will come back in about 30 minutes. But you take another drink in about 30 minutes. If you take a drink of the tea, let's say 1 glass an hour for 4 hours, you'll completely get rid of the pain. But you haven't still knocked out all the bacteria, so if at that point you stop drinking the tea, the pain will come back in about 3 days. So you need to continuously drink the tea for 1 week in order to get rid of the pain. Kind of like when you go to a dentist and the dentist says, here's the penicillin, take 2 a day. Even though you're going to feel great in a day, you have to drink it for 10 days or so in order to completely knock out the bacteria. Same thing with the tea. You need to completely drink the tea until you knock out the bacteria, which typically in case of a tooth infection takes about a week to 10 days. In other infections, it takes a little bit longer. So, for example, with a bladder infection or a urinary tract infection, it's common to take about 2 weeks to completely get rid of the infection, but you get relief like within 24 hours so that you don't have the pain associated. Now, talking about urinary tract infections, there are folks that get chronic urinary tract infections. And what happens is they go to the doctor gives them antibiotics, they drink the antibiotics for 2 weeks, and the infection goes away. A month later, the infection comes back, they go back to the doctor, they get some more antibiotics, and in 2 weeks the pain goes away. And what happens is they keep cycling on and off the antibiotics, which obviously is not a good thing to do, on an ongoing regular basis. On the other hand, they could just drink the tea. The tea is great for them for a lot of other health benefits as well. In 2 weeks, they'll be rid of their urinary tract infection, and they won't get the infection back.
You're listening to the Taheebo Tea Club radio show. All packaging is in 1 pound packages. A 1 pound package of tea is $49.95, and that includes shipping.
And 1 pound makes 308 ounce cups or glasses of tea. That's the equivalent of 12 cents a glass to make. So even if you're drinking 8 glasses a day, that's 96 cents a day to at least give yourself the opportunity for success. All orders ship immediately the same day. Orders in Los Angeles, where we're located, arrive in 1 day. Orders everywhere else arrive in 2 days. Taheebo tea is great for healthy people because it helps regenerate cells. Everything from the cells in our skin so we look better to the cells in our organs so they function properly. And it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease such as an infection, diabetes, or cancer. In Milan Vukovic's family, everyone drinks it every day like water, from his 20-year-old son to his parents, who are both now 86. For more information about Taheebo tea or to order, please visit our website, www.taheboteaclub.com. Taheebo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy. Oh, that's Taheebo, and then continue with the word tea, and then the word club. So the complete site is www.taheboteaclub.com, or call today at 818-610-8088. That's 818-610-8088. LA offices open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday, California time. That's area code 818-610-8088.
Taheebo Tea Club's original Pure Pouty Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus does not grow on. As a result, it naturally has antifungal, anti-infection, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TaheeboTeaClub.com. Taheebo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TaheeboTeaClub.com or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TaheeboTeaClub.com. Taheebo Tea Club's original Pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea helps build red corpuscles in the blood which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer dies in oxygen. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TaheeboTeaClub.com. Taheebo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TaheeboTeaClub.com or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TaheeboTeaClub.com.
Our tea has no contraindications with any foods, supplements, or medications. It's naturally caffeine-free. It can be drank in any quantity throughout the day by anyone over the age of 3. Since a baby's nutritional needs are unique, it's not recommended for babies or for women who are breastfeeding or pregnant. The tea has a number of natural benefits. Some of these include helping to control blood sugar, cleansing the blood of cholesterol, and controlling high blood pressure. If you're taking medications for any conditions, please keep taking your medication until your measurements are at a level where your doctor has told you to reduce the amount of medication. For example, if you're a diabetic, you should be taking your blood sugar level daily in order to know your correct dose of insulin. Now, besides people, the tea is also fantastic for animals. Everything from dogs to horses. One day we got a call from a customer who wanted to purchase the tea for the champion show dog who developed a skin disorder and for whom antibiotics had not worked. Exactly 3 weeks later, the customer called again to tell us the skin had completely cleared up and the dog was back at work as a model. I asked how they got the dog to drink the tea, and they said they simply replaced the water in his bowl with the tea. So it turns out that the dogs actually really like the tea. About 3 months later, another customer called and asked if we knew that dogs preferred our tea over water. We told him we'd heard that dogs like our tea, but why did he think the dogs preferred the tea over water? He said he had 3 dogs, one of which was sick. Since he had multiple dogs, he also had multiple water bowls, and he'd replaced the water in one of the bowls with tea, and that bowl was gone first every day. So since the dogs obviously were the only ones drinking out of the bowls, he knew that the dogs preferred the tea over water. So it's really easy to get a dog to drink the tea. All you do is swap out the water with the tea, and the dogs will immediately start drinking it. If by chance they don't, all you do is put 2-3 ice cubes in with the tea, and the dog will think it's dessert, and by tomorrow he'll be asking you for the tea. We have a lot of cases with dogs. One time, a very funny incident, a lady called in and said, she says, my friend has a Chihuahua, and she heard that your tea was good for dogs, and she started giving the tea to her Chihuahua, and her Chihuahua doesn't shed hair anymore. So since I have a Chihuahua, she gave the tea to me, and I'm giving it to my dog, and I'll be darned, my Chihuahua doesn't shed hair anymore. And I don't know anything about Chihuahuas. We have a Siberian Husky, so I said, did Chihuahuas really shed a lot? She says, oh yeah, they typically shed like crazy. So about an hour later, a customer from Dallas called in, and I'm talking to her on the phone, and I says, I learned something new about our own tea today, and I told her the Chihuahua story. And she says to me, you didn't know that? And I said, well, no, I don't know anything about Chihuahuas. She says, well, you never seen me, she says, because I'm in Dallas, she says, but I've been a customer of yours now for about 2 years, and before I started drinking your tea, I have long hair. Before I started drinking your tea, I used to lose a lot of hair when I was brushing my hair and when I was showering. Since I started drinking your tea, I hardly lose any hair at all. And not only that, my fingernails are strong like concrete. I'd like to shift gears again, if I can, and talk a little bit more about infections. A man went to visit a dentist for a tooth infection. The dentist gave him a prescription for penicillin to knock the bacteria out and a prescription for Vicodin to kill the pain. He sped over to the drugstore, picked up the prescriptions, and couldn't wait to get home to take the pills since his head was throbbing as if it was going to explode. On his way home, he called a friend from his car and was explaining to him what a world of hurt he was in. The friend told him to swing by his place and he'd get rid of the pain in exactly 2 minutes. He was told that not even the Vicodin would kick in that fast and that he really wanted to get home to get rid of the pain as soon as possible and take the Vicodin and the penicillin. Well, the friend said, "You've already picked up the pills from the pharmacy, so you've got them with you. If the Tahibo tea I'm going to give you doesn't work, then start popping the pills." He went over to his friend's house. His friend had him take a drink of the tea and told him to hold it in his mouth over the tooth that was infected for a couple of minutes before swallowing. The pain went away. He explained to his friend, though, that until enough bacteria was knocked out, which requires drinking 5 or 6 glasses of tea in the span of 3 or 4 hours, that the pain would come back in about 30 minutes. But since he's drinking the tea during this time anyway, to simply take a drink of the tea and hold it in his mouth again for 2 minutes before swallowing, and the pain will go away. Unbelievably, this is exactly what happened.
Want to learn more? Check out our podcasts only on the iHeartRadio app. The Tahibo Tea Club radio show is now available on demand 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just open up your iHeartRadio app and search Tahibo, Taheebo, and start streaming today. Our podcast will let you listen to people throughout the country who have shared their real-life stories on the successful results they've had using Tahibo tea. The Tahibo Tea Club radio show, now available as a podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to the Tahibo Tea Club radio show. All packaging is in 1-pound packages. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, and that includes shipping.
And 1 pound makes 300 8-ounce cups or glasses of tea. That's the equivalent of 12 cents a glass to make. So even if you're drinking 8 glasses a day, that's 96 cents a day to at least give yourself the opportunity for success. All orders ship immediately the same day. Orders in Los Angeles, where we're located, arrive in 1 day. Orders everywhere else arrive in 2 days. Tahibo tea is great for healthy people because it helps regenerate cells. Everything from the cells in our skin so we look better to the cells in our organs so they function properly. And it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease such as an infection, diabetes, or cancer. In Milan Vukovic's family, everyone drinks it every day like water, from his 20-year-old son to his parents, who are both now 86. For more information about Tahibo tea or to order, please visit our website, www.tahiboteaclub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy. Oh, that's Tahibo, and then continue with the word tea, and then the word club. So the complete site is www.tahiboteaclub.com, or call today at 818-610-8088. That's 818-610-8088. LA offices open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday, California time. That's area code 818-610-8088.
Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pouty Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus does not grow on. As a result, it naturally has antifungal, anti-infection, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TahiboTeaClub.com, or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea helps build red corpuscles in the blood which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer dies in oxygen. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TahiboTeaClub.com, or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TahiboTeaClub.com.
As I mentioned earlier, since our tea comes from the only tree in the world the fungus doesn't grow on, it naturally has antifungal, anti-infection, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. And so included with every order, we automatically include literature about the tea because typically folks will primarily buy the tea for one primary reason, whether it's cancer or whether it's diabetes or whether it's an infection or whatever the case is. And then oftentimes they'll call back and say, this is really truly unbelievable. This also helped me with my rheumatoid arthritis or something of that nature or something different. One time I got a phone call from a man in Florida who's a customer of ours, and he says, Milan, there's something you didn't tell me about the tea. And I go, really? What's that? So, well, he says, I'm an older man. I have toenail fungus. My toenail fungus is completely gone. My toes are now the only beautiful thing in my body. And I go, well, of course, the tea naturally has antifungal properties. It comes from the only tree in the world that fungus doesn't grow on. And he says, well, that's fantastic. And I said, well, yeah, because, I mean, the only thing we talked about when you called in was with regards to your lung cancer. And as it happened, the man had lung cancer for 18 years, and he was receiving radiofrequency ablation for his lung cancer. And when he first drank, and after 18 years, he says, the ablation works. He says, you can smell your own flesh burning. He says, literally, he says, and after 18 years, there's nothing left on my lungs to burn out, he says. So he says, I don't really believe in things like your tea, he says, but it doesn't cost very much, so go ahead and send me the tea. So we did. And he called back about 3 weeks later, and he says, if somebody would have told me that a $35 bag of tea would get rid of my pain in 5 days, I'd have said you're crazy, because I was taking 10 narcotic pills daily to mitigate the pain, and I never really did. And after 5 days, my pain went away, and I was telling my friends that this is unbelievable. I'm drinking this tea, and the pain associated with my cancer is gone. And my friend said, oh, man, it's got to be in your head. He says, that's why I waited 3 weeks to give you a call back. It's not in my head. The pain's gone. If you'd like more information about Tahibo tea or you'd like to talk to us, just give us a call. We're located in Los Angeles. Our office hours are 9 to 5 California time, Monday through Saturday. Our telephone number is 818-610-8088. And, of course, you can also get a lot more information on our website, www.tahiboteaclub.com, and the only tricky thing is to spell Tahibo, which is spelled T-A-H-E-E-B-O, and then continue with the word T-T-E-A, club, C-L-U-B.com. So the complete website is www.tahiboteaclub.com. TaheeboTeaClub.com, and you'll get more information there. And of course, we welcome you to give us a call because, as you can tell, we learned a lot about our own products from customers calling us in with regards to their dogs, with regards to toenail fungus, with regards to diabetes, and with regards to all type of different cancer cases. And once again, our telephone number is area code 818-610-8088.
Don't go away. We'll be right back with Milan and much more from the Taheebo Tea Club radio show in just a minute. But first, a word from our sponsors.
You're listening to the Taheebo Tea Club radio show. All packaging is in 1 pound packages. A 1 pound package of tea is $49.95, and that includes shipping.
And 1 pound makes 308 ounce cups or glasses of tea. That's the equivalent of 12 cents a glass to make. So even if you're drinking 8 glasses a day, that's 96 cents a day to at least give yourself the opportunity for success. All orders ship immediately the same day. Orders in Los Angeles, where we're located, arrive in 1 day. Orders everywhere else arrive in 2 days. Taheebo tea is great for healthy people because it helps regenerate cells. Everything from the cells in our skin so we look better to the cells in our organs so they function properly. And it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease such as an infection, diabetes, or cancer. In Milan Vukovic's family, everyone drinks it every day like water, from his 20-year-old son to his parents who are both now 86. For more information about Taheebo tea or to order, please visit our website, www.TaheeboTeaClub.com. Taheebo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy. Oh, that's Taheebo, and then continue with the word tea, and then the word club. So the complete site is www.TaheeboTeaClub.com, or call today at 818-610-8088. That's 818-610-8088. LA offices open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday, California time. That's area code 818-610-8088.
Taheebo Tea Club's original Pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus does not grow on. As a result, it naturally has antifungal, anti-infection, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1 pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TaheeboTeaClub.com. Taheebo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TaheeboTeaClub.com, or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TaheeboTeaClub.com. Taheebo Tea Club's original Pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea helps build red corpuscles in the blood which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer dies in oxygen. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1 pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TaheeboTeaClub.com. Taheebo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TaheeboTeaClub.com, or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TaheeboTeaClub.com.
Welcome back to the Taheebo Tea Club radio show. Our tea is effective against all types of cancers because it works through the bloodstream. And of course, cancer cells need blood to get to them just as healthy cells do. The big difference being is that cancer cells work in an anaerobic environment or live in an anaerobic environment, which means they live in the absence of oxygen and they get their energy from sugar instead of from oxygen like healthy cells do. But specifically now, I'd like to devote our attention to prostate cancer because 80% of men are going to contract prostate cancer by the time they turn 80 years old. And from the cancer cases that we have, of course, because so many men get prostate cancer, we have more successful prostate cancer cases than any other cases just because they're the most prevalent. I'd like to tell you about a couple of those cases. I got a phone call a couple of weeks ago from a man in Phoenix, and he says to me, I don't know if you remember speaking to me 4 months ago or not, he says, but I had prostate cancer that was aggressively metastasizing through my whole body, my bones, everywhere. And you told me to drink at least 8 glasses of Tahibo tea a day or more, as much as I could humanly stand. So I literally took that to heart, and I was drinking a gallon a day, which is 16 cups or more, he says. I was drinking so much of your tea that sometimes I was drinking a tea and having to go pee at the same time. But I'll tell you what, in 4 months, I don't have any more cancer. Now, in the informational literature that we automatically include with every order, it says, please give us a call to tell us about your case so that we can help more people. Well, one day I got a call from a man in Beaumont, Texas. And he says to me, he says, I've been a customer of yours, he says, for 5 years now, he says, and in your booklets it says to give you a call to tell you about your case, so I'm calling to give you an update. I go, fantastic, please tell me. He says, 5 years ago I had prostate cancer and my PSA level was 1200. So now, I'm thinking, I don't understand this man's Southern Texas accent from Beaumont, Texas, so I say to him, you mean 120? Because we'd never had anybody previous to that had more than 550. He says, no, 1,200. My PSA level was so high, they didn't want to give me any treatment. And he says, they're going to give you treatment. He says, whether it's going to work or not, just to collect on the money. So I had no other choices, and I started drinking your tea. And not only am I still alive 5 years later, my PSA level is now 1.25. So last October, a man from Saskatchewan, Canada calls up, and he says to me he's got prostate cancer. So I'm telling him about the Beaumont prostate cancer case, the 1200 case, and he says, that's nothing. He says, my prostate PSA level is 2100. I said, oh my God, you have to promise to call me back. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to go ahead and write down your name and number on a yellow sticky and stick it on my computer. If I don't hear back from you, I'm going to call you myself to find out what happened. Well, a month or so ago, we got an email from him, and he says, I started drinking your tea in October, and I'm getting my PSA checked every 2 months, and at the 2-month mark, my PSA level dropped from 2100 to 100. At the 4-month mark, my PSA level dropped from 100 to 10. And now, at the 6-month mark, my PSA level is 1.75. So it's truly gratifying to hear from customers on an ongoing basis, and very humbling because all we do is harvest the original tea. We don't put any fillers in it, and it's just as God had meant the plant to be. Now, the only secret to success with our tea, and the great thing is it tastes great, is volume of consumption. So you want to make certain that if you are fighting a potentially life-threatening disease, it's a race. You need to beat it before it beats you. So you want to be drinking the tea like water, or instead of water, 8 glasses a day or more, which is easy to do since it has a really mild, pleasant flavor. You can take it on an empty stomach, a full stomach, with medication, without medication, and it doesn't have any caffeine, so you can drink it all day, all night.
Want to learn more? Check out our podcasts only on the iHeartRadio app. The Tahibo Tea Club radio show is now available on demand 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just open up your iHeartRadio app and search Tahibo, Tahibo. THEEBO, and start streaming today. Our podcast will let you listen to people throughout the country who have shared their real-life stories on the successful results they've had using Tahibo Tea. The Tahibo Tea Club radio show, now available as a podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to the Tahibo Tea Club radio show. All packaging is in 1 pound packages. A 1 pound package of tea is $49.95, and that includes shipping.
And 1 pound makes 308 ounce cups or glasses of tea. That's the equivalent of 12 cents a glass to make. So even if you're drinking 8 glasses a day, that's 96 cents a day to at least give yourself the opportunity for success. All orders ship immediately the same day. Orders in Los Angeles, where we're located, arrive in 1 day. Orders everywhere else arrive in 2 days. Tahibo tea is great for healthy people because it helps regenerate cells. Everything from the cells in our skin so we look better to the cells in our organs so they function properly. And it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease such as an infection, diabetes, or cancer. In Milan Vukovic's family, everyone drinks it every day like water, from his 20-year-old son to his parents, who are both now 86. For more information about Tahibo tea or to order, please visit our website, www.tahiboteaclub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, AHEEB like boy. Oh, that's Tahibo, and then continue with the word tea, and then the word club. So the complete site is www.tahiboteaclub.com, or call today at 818-610-8088. That's 818-610-8088. LA offices open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday, California time. That's area code 818-610-8088.
Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus does not grow on. As a result, it naturally has antifungal, anti-infection, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1 pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, AHEEB like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TahiboTeaClub.com, or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea helps build red corpuscles in the blood which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer dies in oxygen. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1 pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, AHEEB like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TahiboTeaClub.com, or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TahiboTeaClub.com.
Thank you for listening. The Tahibo Tea Club is a labor of love, life, and health. We only sell pure Pau d'Arco bark to make Tahibo tea. After my father's miraculous recovery from colon pancreatic cancer, I was buying the tea where I could find it and when I could find it. Problem was, even here in the United States, the tea wasn't easy to find, and when I did find it, oftentimes the quality was poor, sometimes it wasn't even the right tea, and invariably the directions to prepare it were wrong. Steep it. Well, you're not going to get very much if you soak wood for 5 minutes. So my friends and I decided to start the Tahibo Tea Club as a source of only one product, pure Pau d'Arco Tahibo tea. Our club is the best club in the world. We have no application, no membership dues, and no meetings. You only receive a newsletter or email from us when we have something new to report. To that extent, we would like to ask for your help. The only way we can help more people is to hear from your experiences. People with leukemia would like to hear about leukemia. People with prostate cancer would like to hear about prostate cancer. People with diabetes would like to hear about diabetes. And people with infections would like to hear about infections. Please call us or email us to let us know. You just might help save a life. Oftentimes I get the question from people whether if they're healthy they can drink the tea. Well, since one of the main properties of the tea is that it builds the red corpuscles which bring oxygen to our organs and cells, it's absolutely fantastic for healthy people. We have so many stewardesses drinking it because they don't want to get sick. I mean, they're floating around in an aluminum can, breathing other people's germs, and then they don't want to catch colds, flus, whatever the case is, so they drink the tea. I get phone calls, oftentimes very funny ones, from people that have landed at different airports around the world and telling me that this is truly amazing. I was on a plane and I was coughing, and the stewardess said as soon as I got off, I had to phone you to get some of your Tahibo tea. So the tea is used by a lot of athletes for faster muscle regeneration because of the oxygen. It's also used by a lot of folks in the entertainment industry, for example, that can't afford to get sick. These days, a diva gets $1,000 for a front row seat. If the diva's not singing, you're going to get your money back. In any event, the tea is great for healthy people and can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease. God willing, our tea will do for your family and friends the same as it's done for mine and so many others. This is Milan Vukovic, founder of the Tahibo Tea Club. You've been listening to the Tahibo Tea Club radio hour. Tune in at the same time next week. We'll be talking about a lot of different cases. We'll also have other customers on the line that have used the tea. And as I mentioned earlier, God willing, it'll have the same benefits for you and your family. Thank you for listening.
Want to learn more? Check out our podcast only on the iHeartRadio app. The Tahibo Tea Club radio show is now available on demand 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just open up your iHeartRadio app and search Tahibo, Taheebo, and start streaming today. Our podcast will let you listen to people throughout the country who have shared their real-life stories on the successful results they've had using Tahibo tea. The Tahibo Tea Club radio show, now available as a podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to the Tahibo Tea Club radio show. All packaging is in 1 pound packages. A 1 pound package of tea is $49.95, and that includes shipping.
And 1 pound makes 308 ounce cups or glasses of tea. That's the equivalent of 12 cents a glass to make. So even if you're drinking 8 glasses a day, that's 96 cents a day to at least give yourself the opportunity for success. All orders ship immediately the same day. Orders in Los Angeles, where we're located, arrive in 1 day. Orders everywhere else arrive in 2 days. Tahibo tea is great for healthy people because it helps regenerate cells. Everything from the cells in our skin so we look better to the cells in our organs so they function properly. And it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease such as an infection, diabetes, or cancer. In Milan Vukovic's family, everyone drinks it every day like water, from his 20-year-old son to his parents who are both now 86. For more information about Tahibo tea or to order, please visit our website, www.tahiboteaclub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, Aheeb like boy. Oh, that's Tahibo, and then continue with the word tea and then the word club. So the complete site is www.tahiboteaclub.com or call today at 818-610-8088. That's 818-610-8088. LA offices open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday, California time. That's area code 818-610-8088.
Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pau Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus does not grow on. As a result, it naturally has antifungal, anti-infection, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1 pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, Aheeb like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TaheeboTeaClub.com or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TaheeboTeaClub.com. Taheebo Tea Club's original Pure Pau de Arco Super Tea helps build red corpuscles in the blood which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer dies in oxygen. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TaheeboTeaClub.com. Taheebo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TaheeboTeaClub.com or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TaheeboTeaClub.com.
Southern California's Mind Spring. Progressive talk in Southern California. The legends you love and the best talk.
Attention, seniors and boomers on Medicare. This is George Litchfield with Litchfield Insurance Associates and Medicare Clarified. It's that time of year again to review your plan options. So people are calling 951-769-0005. There are new PPO and Part B give-back plans available, and more dental, vision, and hearing benefits as well. Don't miss out. We'll give you a no-cost, no-obligation review, and you'll receive a complimentary gift bag. See you soon at our Sundance Corporate Center offices in Beaumont, next to the Beaver Medical Group Urgent Care, or our Redlands office. So, to get all the benefits you deserve for 2023, people are calling 951-769-0005 to get their Medicare clarified.
With 60 years of fascinating facts, this is the man from yesterday. And back to yesterday, this time in 1971, rhythm guitarist Tom Fogerty announces that he is leaving Creedence Clearwater Revival, one of the world's best-selling rock bands, because he wants to quit touring and devote more time. Around this time in 1975, singer Andy Williams and Claudine Lauger divorce on grounds of irreconcilable differences. Andy and Claudine were married in 1961 but have been separated for the past few years.
But to love him is to meet him everywhere, knowing that love is to share.
And from about this time in 1962, actor Joseph Kearns, who plays Mr. Wilson on the popular Dennis the Menace TV show on CBS TV Sunday nights, passes suddenly.
Hey, Dad, guess what? The doctor says poor old Mr. Wilson's lying down because he thinks he's getting old.
Well, that's funny. He didn't seem worried about it this morning.
Maybe he was younger then.
With more at manfromyesterday.com.
It's time to make the Tri-City Center in Redlands a regular part of your weekly shopping experience. Tri-City is home to a wide assortment of quality businesses, including the all-new Ocean Aquatics. Check out their variety of exotic tropical fish, along with fish food, accessories, and tanks of all shapes and sizes. The Tri-City Center is located just off of Alabama and the Tennessee exits in Redlands. Visit the Tri-City Center today and find out why it's called the Mall with a Heart.
NBC News Radio, I'm Julie Ryan. It's another day of protests in several major cities after the release of Memphis police video showing the fatal beating of 29-year-old Tyree Nichols. The NYPD reported several arrests when crowds blocked traffic in Times Square, and police in Los Angeles broke out the pepper spray to control unruly demonstrators. President Biden is offering his condolences to the family of Tyree Nichols. Biden says he called the family members and commended them for showing strength and courage.
I can only do so much in an executive order at a federal level.
Speaking to reporters as he left the White House for Camp David last night, Biden promised that he'll make a case to Congress to pass the George Floyd Act. 37 years ago today, the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded shortly after launch from Cape Canaveral, Florida. All 7 astronauts, including Krista McAuliffe, who was to be the first teacher in space, were killed in the disaster. Julie Ryan, NBC News Radio.
You're listening to the Inland Talk Express, 1050 AM and 106.5 FM.